Good morning. This is the YouTube channel of the Study IAS Institute for Civil Service Examination. This is the second lecture for the Economic Survey 2020-2021. In the first lecture, we had seen first 5 chapters of Volume 1 and we will continue thereon. So, the sixth chapter talks about process reforms. See, as we had discussed previously, the first volume is semi-philosophical in the sense it guides policy making based on rigorous analysis of facts. This one is process reforms pertains to administrative reforms essentially. Okay, and I cannot escape but notice that there are many ethical sides to this chapter as well. What you study in ethics chapter, we will see some glimpse of it here. So, supervision, not regulation, versus a code of ethics, and regulate lightly, enforce tightly. This is the message, I would say. This is the message that I have derived from this chapter, and we shall see how that message is conveyed through the chapter. For example, now this statement is not made in this survey. This is my conclusion based on what we have seen in ethics and based on what we have seen in governance section of paper 2, that Max Weber is outdated. Why? Because see, Max Weber was the original thinker on modern bureaucracy. What he said, that it should be legal, rational, professional, implying that codify rules rationally as far as possible. Do not leave any scope for discretion. Okay, but it has been realized, especially in the context of developing countries, that discretion is inevitable. The survey says this thing, that discretion is inevitable. Therefore, it reminded me of Max Weber, that how it goes against the grain of traditional thinking. Now, you must come across this statement in many ethics lectures, especially on the section on governance. They say compassion and ethical exercises of discretion is needed for good governance. So, this survey says that, look, discretion has to be exercised. In fact, the more you try to regulate, the longer and more elaborate your code of regulation is, there is in fact rather more scope for discretion. So, they say, why not have supervision instead of regulation? See, mirage of complete regulation. Now, what is a complete regulation? Means, whenever you are framing a code of conduct or a code for regulation or for auditing, you try to, it's human tendency, we think, look, we are creating a legal document and we want to imagine or anticipate each and every possible circumstances, and for each possible or potential circumstances, we want to give a way that, look, in this case, follow this rule, or these many specific standards should be met. However, that is not the case. It doesn't happen like that in real life. Difference between regulation and supervision. Discretion is unavoidable, so balance it with more transparency, ex ante accountability, and ex post resolution mechanism. These words are important. They say complete regulation is not possible. The more you try to regulate, the more elaborate your codes are, there will in fact be more scope for discretion. In fact, many of you might have had run-ins with traffic cops or some government department, and there you see that if the public servant wants to implicate you, he will implicate you on any ground, because it is not possible for you to adhere to all these standards. Okay, it is not possible for you to have all the licenses and permits and be able to meet all the specific criteria up to the benchmarks. So what happens, that The larger the code, again, this message has to be understood. Normally what we think, look, if we give elaborate codes, if we reduce discretion, then there is less scope for corruption. But the truth is, there will always be more discretion, and the more you try to reduce discretion, the more it comes back. They say, therefore, do not aim for 100% regulation, rather go for supervision, because discretion is unavoidable. The more you try to regulate, the more discretion you are giving to a civil servant. So go for supervision, regulate lightly, not tightly. Discretion is unavoidable, so balance it with more transparency. We will see examples of how you can give more transparency. Now, ex ante and ex post. Ex ante means based on projections, not on facts. Okay, and ex post means based on actual events and facts. We will see their detailed examples in later slides. Now it builds the argument from here on, okay, and it uses a index, the World Rule of Law Index. A question was asked about this index maybe in 2018 prelim examination, that who publishes it. So the answer is here. World Justice Report publishes the World Rule of Law Index. Now look, there is a curious case. See, out of 128 countries, India is ranked 45th in due process. Due process is respected in administrative proceedings. Means paperwork, there is no lack of paperwork. Due process is adhered to. However, when you think about government regulations are effectively enforced, see. Now, how is that possible that we are ranked 45th out of 128 countries in due process being adhered to, but regulations being enforced? Why is this gap? Now, is that common for all the countries? Not so. See, in our case, we saw 45 to 107. Okay, huge gap. Look at Singapore. 7 to 4. Okay, such close parallel. Same here. 12 to 9, UK. 18 to 16. All right. Even Brazil. Apart from India, if there is one country, just a curious case, China. See, India, that means, is only country where on paper we are excellent, but on ground we are below average, much below average. In fact, if you are 107 out of 128 countries, you have to say you are in the bottom quintile. Now, some years back there was this chapter in volume 1 of Economic Survey that talked about a Chakra view. This word has not been mentioned in this survey, but the word was mentioned and the message was same. What is the message? That a study by Quality Council of India, there could be a good question on Quality Council of India in prelims examination, please do study it, shows that the time taken from actual closure to the company getting struck off. Actual closure means now you have ceased to do any commercial activity, be it manufacturing, services, consultancy, whatever. You could be a domestic firm, you could be a foreign firm. From actual closure to company getting struck off from the registrar of companies, it takes how long? 570 days, which is equal to 4.3 years. And this is the case when there is no litigation, okay, no dispute, and all paperwork is clear. Point is, it is easier today to start a business and much more difficult to end it, to close it. Now, this is the Chakra view. What happened in Chakra view? It was easier to get in, difficult to get out. This Chakra view word was used in the previous survey, not in this one. Over regulation. and opacity in Indian administrative process flow. So this example clearly illustrates that something is wrong with the overall administrative structure. Look, survey is an economic document. Therefore, the examples given by survey are mostly about economic activity. But the problems like over-regulation and opacity is not unique to economic activity or economic regulation. In many areas of public service delivery, you will see there are so many rules and regulations. If you remember in recent past, BMC had run-ins with many actors in Mumbai. Okay, and something happens, they reach and they demolish one or two floors of their house. Why? Because they had violated some building bylaws and codes. What happens is that it is not possible in India to have a construct your house and not violate a few codes. That's just the way it is. So what happens? It gives them a ground to extract vendetta whenever it is needed. Administrative process flow from the emphasis on having complete regulations. Means you have such elaborate codes and then you expect the citizens, corporations, residents to adhere to them that account for every possible outcome. Why? Because you see, you want to anticipate everything. But the truth is, you cannot anticipate everything. The idea of unknown. Same thing is here. That you cannot anticipate everything. So if you try to frame regulations for each and every potential circumstances, you will build up, epic. And no one can read the epics. You need a few stories to remember. Okay. So and what stories depends on the storyteller. Meaning discretion. A much larger scope for discretion. Now, this idea, bounded rationality, you can use it in ethics as well. And therefore, I quoted Weber in the beginning that it looked more like an ethical administrative chapter.